Hello everyone, and we are coming back in with Seton Hall playing against Butler. I'm really looking forward to this. This is the game that I think has been hyped up the most all day. This is the thing people have been looking forward to on stream. And earlier in the week, or earlier in the day even, Hunted, Seton Hall 3-0'd Butler because this is a double round robin. So this is the second game they're playing against each other today.
Yep, second game, and a bit of a shocking outcome. I don't think we would have expected Butler to drop any game 3-0. But with the way that Seton Hall was playing in the last series, I can certainly see them taking this one to Butler. We'll see. Can Butler come back? Can they get their revenge for that first round? They're going to have to play well because, like I said, Seton Hall has been playing very, very well together.
Yeah, Seton Hall, an incredibly good team, and I definitely think they've really proved themselves throughout the season being a top 3 team, and now they're playing against Butler, the #1 seed. But when you've already 3-0'd them, you must be coming in confidently, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Seton Hall has put themselves in a perfect position to qualify for tomorrow's single elim bracket, and it is only the top 2 teams getting out of the group stage, and we could be watching the 2 teams who get out battling it out right now.
Yeah, we could, and it'd be interesting because if Seton Hall manages to get I don't have the actual scorelines on the top of my head, but I'm curious to see if Seton Hall manages to cause 2 series losses for Butler, how that will affect the brackets. Will we see an upset? Will we see a team that might not have made it out make it out?
And it'll certainly be interesting to see as we come closer to that. But right now, Butler, they get the first goal of the game here in game at #1. It started because the Seton Hall defenders almost kind of abandoning their post right out in front of the goal there. Everybody opting for boost and ended up getting to Zombie Burger, who puts it into the back of the net. Zombie, again, one of those support type players who didn't really have too many goals scored in our first little segment there in the first round. But he gets the first one here, and it's a big one.
Yeah, and now Butler pulling Butler overall with a 1-goal lead. Demolition coming up from both teams at the moment as it's a 2v2. Jared sees an opportunity, sets up a fantastic attempt. Breezy going for the shot. The follow-up from Tone is going to be Seton Hall even it out on 3-3-3.
All 3 players getting involved. Jared, then Breezy, back out to Tone. Again, the Butler defense caught out, not moving. You cannot be without momentum there out in front of your own goal. You've got to have somebody moving quickly to challenge those balls, and unfortunately they will have to find themselves down by, or I'm sorry, not down a goal, but tied up now, not up the goal that they were afforded there early on. It is 1-1, 3:20 left to go. We'll see which of these teams can find that next one.
Yeah, really nice clear coming out by Steven. Webbs following it up, doing Webbs things as he always does, but Seton Hall is ready for it, and Tone sees an open goal, and he says, you know what, that's another one for us.
Tone just in a great position here, gets a beautiful 50 onto Zombie, exactly what you want to do. He sends that directly into the back of the goal. Webbs was rotating back, but a little bit of over-aggression from Butler, going to punish them there. It's now 2-1, Seton Hall takes the lead.
Seton Hall now in a great position. They've already 3-0'd Butler once, and is this going to be goal number 3? It is. Seton Hall showing that they should be in that #1 spot.
And Tony gets his hat trick. Great challenge. Steven doesn't think that he's going to lose the race to the ball, and Tone just a little deflection over top of the defender, and that makes it 3-1. Now, still 3 minutes left to go. Plenty of time for Butler to try to come back in this one, but first things first, you've got to stop the bleeding. 3 unanswered goals, might be 4 now as Breezy goes one-on-one with Steven, but a good save from the blue defender.
Yeah, Tone playing it defensively though, playing it patiently as Breezy sees another opportunity, doesn't get the touch, maybe actually looking for a fake away there. Jared gets it past one defender, doesn't get it past Steven though. If that man would have dribbled that around both of them, oh my goodness.
Certainly has the talent for it, unable to do so that time. But as halftime comes and goes now here in game #1, still a 3-1 lead for Seton Hall. Breezy challenges both defenders there. Tone up for it now. Demo on the back line. Webbs can't beat Breezy. Never saw him coming. It's a 4-1 game.
Seton Hall taking massive strides here. Tone getting a great hit, passing it to Breezy. Webbs trying to knock Breezy out of the way, but You probably should have used your jumps, right? You should have flipped over and tried to bash him away a bit earlier.
Well, unfortunately for Butler, that will put them down 4-1. And again, it's been 4 unanswered goals for Seton Hall. Might be another one here if Breezy can get Zombie Burger out of the net, but it will be Webbs back in support to make the play. Tries to fake Jared, but Jared not biting on that fake, and Tone to pinch the ball in. And Butler, we have watched them a couple of times today. This, I believe, is our 3rd time watching Butler on stream. And never have I seen them struggling to find purchase in midfield than I have against this Seton Hall team.
No, Seton Hall is doing an absolutely phenomenal job at denying any possession. Tone is an absolute madman as he is popping off. And here we go, Breezy stealing it away. Now Jared and Breezy are running it down. There's no defenders on the blue side, right? They have a chance to rotate, gets the pass back to Tone.
With a minute 20 left to go, still a 3-goal lead for Seton Hall. Butler's got to try to do something to bring themselves back in this game. They need to do it quickly. A Zombie Burger up for it. Not going to be able to find the touch. Webbs, however, he will. Gets a second one. Steven was lurking through mid, but Tone gets there before any shot can be attempted. Now Breezy towards the blue net. The pass, a slow one out in front. Jared, last man back, opting not to go for the challenge. We'll just rotate and play some defense. So it looks like game number 1, certainly in favor of Seton Hall, will most likely go over to the orange side. But definitely Butler needs to come out with a new game plan for game 2. I'm already liking the demos that Steven is trying to find on that back line. You've got to disrupt the defensive rotation of Seton Hall.
Yeah, pinch coming out here. Tone being ready for it. Actually using Steven to chip the ball up. Breezy following it up, trying to steal it away, trying to center it. Steven, really good show of patience once again. Tony getting that tap, the double tap, trying to bounce it away. Steven with a shot on goal.
8 seconds will tick by, and it will be a 1-0 win for Seton Hall. I'm sorry, not 1-0 win, 1-0 series for Seton Hall. 5 goals on the board. Nice little pass from Breezy to Jared. He gets his first of the game. So all members getting involved in the scoring for Seton Hall, and this is exactly what we were talking about before this game started. Seton Hall plays so well as a team that it can be almost impossible to stop their offense, because what do? You try to shut down Tone, and you've got somebody equally as brilliant on offense as Breezy. You try to shut down Breezy, Jared is always there to make a solid play through mid. How do you stop this team from just scoring whenever they want?
You have to figure out and make advantages when they make mistakes. But that doesn't happen very often. We saw it a few times last game, but we also saw every team make mistakes, right? No team's perfect. So, and that's the only time you can capitalize on a team that's playing so well and in unison.
Well, Butler's going to have to try to figure it out. Something needs to break here if Butler wants any kind of opportunity in this series. Seton Hall playing so very well. 5-1 victory in game 1, and we are underway with game 2. Jared lofts it towards the net. He'll score. First goal on the board 5 seconds in.
Yeah, Zombie Burger in a very unfortunate position there. He went for the save, and I believe it was going to go in anyway, so it was a good attempt. He actually just knocked it in slightly faster, saving some time on the clock, though, which might come to some advantage later on.
There's Jared, bounces it down. Webbs to Steven, great pass, but Zombie Burger not going to be able to beat Breezy out in front. Still Webbs towards the net. Breezy again, back to make the play. Now here comes the breakout. Gives the ball away to Steven. This is going to bounce around in the orange half for now. Some solid aggression from Butler. Great flick from Webbs, but Tone beats him on the play.
Steven here getting a good hit. Webbs passing it to Zombie. Zombie setting it up. That would have been absolutely perfect if they weren't prepared and keeping their eyes on all of their opponents.
Great pass again to Webbs, who's trying to use that mid wall, looking for a play to Zombie Burger, but Zombie gets caught out. Jared, no touch. Webbs there to clear it off the goal line. Much more cohesive unit now from the Butler offense. Using each other for these passing plays. Unfortunately, they haven't scored, but They're really maintaining possession of the ball as Steven just trying to center something, get something going on the offensive half here for Butler.
Yeah, Webbs was in his favorite position on the map, but unfortunately didn't get ball control at the time, as we see a good attempt, okay, a good clear coming out. The save was very nice. Zombie Burger now having control of the ball. All he has to do is get it past Tone, and he can't.
Now it's a one-on-one. Tone over Webbs. He scores 2-0 now, and Tone on the board here in game 2.
Yeah, now we are starting to see them get that lead once again. Game 1, of course, being that 1-5 scoreline.
Yeah, 5-1 in favor of Seton Hall game 1, yeah.
And now we are seeing a bit of a flashback to it, because they are going to be able to find these goals. If they can find another goal here, this is not good for Butler.
Things busting open now, as it's Jared, I believe, who will get credit for the assist. He gets that nice double touch. Breezy, perfect position. All he has to do is drive it home. So 3-0 for Seton Hall, and it looked so good for Butler early on. I thought with the way that they were passing in mid and in the offensive zone that they'd find an equalizer, but just like that, 2 more fall in for Seton Hall, and it's back to kind of the game 1 scenario for Butler.
Yeah, and that's going to be goal number 4. Breezy just getting a hard shot in.
Yeah, corner play. Good touch from Breezy. Just difficult for the defense. When the ball pops up like that and you don't have anyone in the area, you've got to make a decision. You've got to kind of guess what's going to happen when the ball comes down. And unfortunately, neither of the 2 Butler defenders could make the right guess.
Unfortunately, in those 50-50 decisions, it doesn't always play out. Now, Steven trying to steal the ball away. It gets centered up perfectly for Seton Hall, but clear. Webbs recentering it in the air. Opportunity coming out. Steven following it up. Loses the challenge by Tone.
4-0 as halftime approaches. Seton Hall proving that they are certainly one of the best teams, at least in this group, if not in the entire tournament. They would love to make it out into those semifinals and really have an opportunity to take the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, and they're definitely doing their best at that, right? Being 0-4 against the top seed is, yeah, I mean, you're definitely proving yourself, and it makes me wonder if perhaps they were keeping some secret strategies throughout the pre-eliminations, right? Like prepping and trying to almost mentally bait people. And if that is the case and they were hiding some secrets, it's definitely paid out for them.
Well, here's an opportunity for Zombie. Would love to see Butler get on the board before time expires. There still is time. Minute 45, of course. 4 goals needed from Butler, but a lot of play out of the blue zone. Breezy keeps it in again. Zombie Burger's there. It's a pinch, but a bit lackluster as it finds its way to Jared. Now Tone will take a shot. That's just high. Steven, great back wall defense to play it away. Breezy gets the pass through mid, but another deflection into the corner, and this is just time running off the clock. Seton Hall doing a great job of ending this game.
Yeah, Jared, they're going to be able to find goal number 5. Just waited for the defense to pass by the goal and then just commit to it, and that works out. Good rotations really pay out. Who would have thought?
Certainly a key rule of Rocket League. You must have good rotation on either side of the ball if you want to find any sort of success. Seton Hall's rotation has been almost perfect. I won't say that they haven't made their mistakes, because they have. As you said earlier, every team will make mistakes, but Seton Hall has kept them to a minimum. You almost never see them going for double commits. You never see them really getting bunched up in rotation. I think that's what makes them so scary.
Yeah, and I think that just all comes down to good coordination and just a good feeling of your teammates, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can tell that these players have played with each other at least a little bit in the past. You know, most likely a team that was formed probably a year or so ago, and they've played together for quite a while, and you eventually just get that kind of chemistry where you know where your teammates are going to be, you know what you need to do with the ball to get it to them, and eventually you get results like this, going up 5-0 against Butler, who comes in as the #1 seed, and you know, you've beaten them 5 out of what could be a possible 6 times so far today, it's quite good. You've got to be feeling good if you're Seton Hall.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need to be feeling good. You're going to be 2 up games against the first seed. That's going to be Butler's first goal on the buzzer.
I thought we were going to see our first shutout of the day, but unfortunately not. Good play from Zombie Burger, and it's good. Butler needed a goal going into it, but I don't know. I mean, every series that we've watched up to this point, you could see that you know, there was at least some kind of life towards the end of games for these different teams. It almost felt like Butler was just flat through the rest that entire game. Like I don't know, like they were nervous or just not confident in themselves.
And I think that comes down to their 3-0 loss against Seton Hall earlier today, right? Because they've already done this matchup. They did this like a couple hours ago. They know what they're coming up against, and they got 3-0'd. They obviously have spoken about it. They've tried to figure out what they could do. They didn't have time to watch VODs, you know, unless you could like very quickly try and watch like 10, 15 minutes, figure out little bits. But they can't even do that because they weren't one of the streamed games, so they can't re-overlook what could have gone wrong. And then, so all they've got to do is hope that they can make the right adjustments.
Well, unfortunately for them, the right adjustments haven't really been made. They find themselves down 0-2 in the series. Do or die moment now for Butler, but for Seton Hall, nothing really needs to change. You just need to play the way you've been playing throughout the day, and until somebody can prove to you that they've figured out your game plan, they've figured out what you're going to do and how to beat you, there's no reason to change anything.
No, don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right.
Now, coming out, we do see Seton Hall with ball control. Tone once again doing Tone things. Pass to Jared. Jared getting a lovely tap. Good save coming out from Zombie Burger and Webbs. Another attempt by Breezy goes over Webbs, and that's going to be goal number 1. 59 seconds into the round.
Yep, and it will be Seton Hall. There's Breezy lurking in mid. Wins the 50. Solid touch from him. But again, now Butler find themselves having to battle from behind. It can be so very difficult, especially when you know you've got to win this game. There is no more time for losing, for trying to figure out the enemy team. If you do drop this game, you drop another series, and certainly not something Butler wants to do if they have aspirations of making day 2.
No, that's definitely a nerve-wracking situation, right? They need to be able to try find something. Get the double demo coming out on Jared and Steven, as we could see an opportunity opening up for Butler, but Tone actually getting a favorable bounce there.
This is popped up high in front of the blue goal. That's in the net. Steven looked like he was trying to play this one away. He took it away from his teammate. I've got to watch this again. Oh no, it was Webbs. I'm very surprised that Webbs got a piece of that, and unfortunately goes to the back of his own net.
Yeah, that is not fantastic. And I'm just looking over the overall tournament standings at the moment. Butler has only dropped 1 series. They are 3-1. And Seton Hall is currently 3-0.
Well, after the last series, they would
they
most
would
likely
be 4-0 after the last series. That is 100% correct.
And with the score line in this game now, as Jared gets another goal, it's 3-0. Assuming everything stays the same, Seton Hall is going to be moving to 5-0, and we could very well see them move to 6-0. Their next opponent we will be watching on stream, it's Georgetown, I believe.
I do believe that is correct.
A great position for this Seton squad as Tone scores another beauty. Great play, 4-0.
Oh, well, that's, yeah, I mean, 4-0, that's a massive lead. 2 minutes and 55, though. Anything done in the first half can be done in the second half.
Well, we'll see if Butler can replicate the Seton Hall success here in Game 3. Webbs fires. Tone just makes the save.
Tone getting a fantastic save. Like, that was a bit tooth and nail, right? But it worked out for them.
Hard shot from Webbs, certainly. Read that one well through mid, but the ball stays out of the orange goal as now Tone, he's going for a double tap. finds it. Jared in front, score 5-0 for Seton Hall, game 3.
And if you watch this, that was it. That was just Tone and Jared, right? They didn't need Breezy. Breezy was sitting in the back playing defensively, and these are the rotations that's making them work so well.
Yeah, Jared moving up in the play. He gets his second goal of the game. As, again, we talked about Tone a little earlier on, how he was the league-leading goal scorer throughout the regular season, and a big reason why this Seton Hall squad is so good at scoring certainly can be placed into Tone, but again, you've got a player like Tone, you try to shut him down, you try to double team him, take away all of his space, and then you've got players like Breezy and Jared directly behind him. It can be so overwhelming if you are the Butler defense or any defense that's playing against this squad.
Yeah, it's difficult when all three players are such a well-oiled machine, right? Like, oh, Zombie Regal with a good save here. They need to try and clear it out a bit further as Breezy gets a touch. Webb's getting a good hit into that, though. Steven now having ball control. Tone steals it away, looking to set it up again. Gets the dunk.
Good touch from Jared to pop it out in front. Tone still keeping it going in the blue half. 5-0 lead for Seton Hall. Tone back into the blue zone. Webbs actually turns it around, plays it right out through the front. Jared, can he get his hat trick? He ends up getting demoed, but Tone will score. 6 goals on the board, 2 apiece for the Seton Hall players, and this series is done.
Yeah, this is a done and dusted Seton Hall 3-0 by the looks of it. Unless we could see the 11.3 average time needed on a goal from Butler, which they are a fantastic team, but if we see Seton Hall get a 7th goal, you hate to see it happen. We're almost at Brazil.
That we are nearly there. Though that would ruin our first shutout. We still haven't seen a shutout today, which I find quite interesting. Typically you get at least one of those throughout the day. But a 7-0 scoreline, only 60 seconds left to go. I don't know how the enemy group is doing, Group B, but hopefully the teams that are looking to qualify through that group, they are watching the Seton Hall team play, because it is going to be scary to face them tomorrow.
So Marquette won 2-2 so far, as we do go to Brazil. Does happen, but going and looking over Group 2 whilst we watch the end of this, Marquette University is at a 2-2, Xavier University is at a 2-2, DePaul is 4-0, St. John's is 0-4, and Villanova is on a 2-2.
So still pretty close. Obviously, DePaul University is really shining through. If they're 4-0, that means that they won all of their first-round matches. So their group is a little larger, is it not? A team larger than ours.
That group is slightly larger, as we see another goal coming out little too late, as you put it earlier, Hunted, unfortunately. I would think it was to be the greatest thing in the world if we could see them get an average of a goal every 5 seconds and even it out into overtime. Like, the dream.
Yeah, I mean, here's an opportunity if Steven can put it home. Webbs is there, but Breezy makes the save on the goal line. Yeah, that's going to do it.
It's pretty much statistically impossible now for them to find that goal. With the 2-second travel time, you need to get it off, kick off on a straight shot. They cannot find it, but they are going to find that 3rd goal.
And it just goes to show you how good these two teams are. I mean, that is a beautiful passing play by Butler. What a transition goal. But it comes in the final 5 seconds of an already lost game, already lost series for Butler. But assuming Butler makes it out of groups, which we expect them to, you know, they get a night of rest, and they get a night of, like you said, watching VODs, discussing amongst yourselves, and they can form a game plan for this Seton Hall team. But, you know, Seton Hall, it's insane how much better they've been playing than everybody today.
Yeah, no, Seton Hall have been on fire, and I don't think anybody can argue that one. And I'm just seeing Seton Hall play like this makes me so excited to see what happens tomorrow. Because If you were to ask me earlier today at the start of today who I thought was going to take it, it wouldn't have been Seton Hall. But now I'm really second my guessing myself and thinking, you know what? I think we're going to see Seton Hall in grand finals.
They are certainly playing like they deserve to be there. But we've got one final matchup tonight, and it's going to be Seton Hall versus Georgetown, if I am not mistaken.
That is 100% correct. And that should also be an interesting match. And I just want to highlight a couple of things, though, because I feel like when people get sweeped, they might look at it in a negative light. So if we do have Butler, like, rewatching the VODs and listening to us here, take it as a learning experience, right? Because you can always learn something a lot more, I personally find, from losses than wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if Butler do make it out of groups, which we expect them to, certainly not in the books yet, but if they do make it out of the group stage, they need to use all of the time they have overnight tonight into tomorrow to come up with some kind of plan. Whether it's going to work or not work, it still feels so much better to come into a day saying, yes, we know what we're going to do. We know how we want to play, rather than, oh, I just hope we don't play Seton Hall.
Yeah, which, if you're Seton Hall, that's also the greatest position to be in, right? Because if you get your opposition into that mindset, you're in a great spot. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cut to a very quick break as we get set up for our next game. We'll be back with you momentarily.